Hello my people, how you doing today? I hope you're fine wherever you're watching me from. Welcome back to the channel. So as you have seen from the thumbnail, today we'll be talking about courses that you can do in the UK and you get a job immediately, and after 5 years you get a permanent residence. Actually, this is the second part of the video. I have a part 1 of that video, so if you have not seen it, please, I recommend go and watch that video, those courses. So go and watch that part 1 and make sure you watch this part 2 and share with your friends. Guys, I want to make an appeal. Please kindly subscribe to this channel. Let us grow this channel together. Don't just watch the videos and run away. Please help your girl to grow. Okay, so let's get down to business. The first course we'll be talking about today is MSc Physician Associates. MSc Physician Associate. In America, they call it Physician Assistant, but from the name, Associate Assistant, the same thing. From the name, it means the role is to support the doctors in looking after patients. And so you may be wondering, who is a Physician Associate? A Physician Associate is a healthcare professional with a generalist medical education. So by generalist medical education, I mean Physician Associate in school during their training, they go through most of the major specialties in medicine. So they are trained in all of this to be a generalist so that they can support doctors in wherever department, wherever field of medicine they find themselves, so that they can support doctors. So they are trained to take medical history, they'll carry out examinations, they can request for tests. If they want the patient to do blood tests, they can interpret the results of these tests, they can make their diagnosis, they can come up with treatment plans. So currently in the UK, the only thing that physician assistants or physician associates are not allowed to do is that they cannot prescribe medication, and they cannot also request x-rays. And you know, it's a new role, so it's not the end of the world. It's a new role. It's a role that is gradually evolving, so it's not like something that is out of the world. Okay, so there are people that in one way or the other, maybe you loved medicine so much, and but by one reason or the other, you found yourself doing maybe microbiology, maybe what's it called, biochemistry, medical lab science, you know, and you've done those degrees before, and you don't want to go back to medicine again and go and put in maybe 5 years, 6 years of medicine. For people in that category, you still love medicine, but you're now in another field, you find yourself doing something else. I strongly recommend this course. I want us to go on the website of NHS, just look at a very short video and see who a physician associate is and what they do. Okay, so let's go.
It's a new role in the UK with medical model training for graduates in science and health-related backgrounds. And the purpose of the role is to provide a continuity of care for patients and to provide stability to the medical workforce.
The idea of physician associates is that they're taught a bit about everything, and so they're quite good as generalists, which is why general practice is such a great setting for us to work.
So I work in a very busy acute medical department, so I work with medical colleagues, so doctors in all stages of training, from junior doctors to consultants. I work with nursing colleagues, including clinical support workers, and then members of the allied healthcare professionals team as well, so pharmacists, physios, occupational therapists, as well as office and administrative people.
It's amazing to see a smile on a patient's face when I'm able to bring them that satisfaction in managing their healthcare.
It's a very challenging and it's an innovative profession, so I think it's quite nice because it's so new in this country. There's no set way that it should go, and it's a great time to be a physician associate. There's a lot to be involved with. I've recently just started teaching at Sheffield Hallam University, and it's quite nice to be able to have that job variety, doing the clinical work here, but also giving some pearls of wisdom to the students that started at the university.
Because it is a new role, people do sort of naturally ask what a physician associate is. And in terms of the patients that I see day to day, I don't have many patients asking me the sort of in-depth questions about what a physician associate is.
Going back to my laboratory experience, I came across a patient's sample of swabs, and this patient had third-degree burns wanted to know more about this patient. Unfortunately, being in the lab, that wasn't the case. I couldn't directly provide that environment. I looked into medical school. I didn't want to be a doctor. I didn't feel that I could commit myself to studying a number of years. I came across someone who was studying the Physician Associate course at Wolverhampton, and I looked into it, I read about it, and I thought, oh, this is interesting. So I still get to, I have my commitments, but I can still work in healthcare.
So guys, I decided to stop there. So you can go on the website of the NHS, and you can go on the website of the NHS, and then you can go and watch more about this yourself. So you can see it's an exciting role. Did you find what the girl, the lady in black, did you find what she said interesting? So she wanted to be involved in patient care, but because she was a lab scientist, she could only just do this test, take sample, do the test, but she will not be involved in making the final diagnosis. If you pay attention to what she said, but she said, and she doesn't want to commit again to 5 years, 6 years of medicine. And then she phoned someone studying physician associate. She went to research about it herself and thought, oh, I really like this. Now look at it, she's already a physician assistant. So if you are someone that loves medicine so much, but because you already done a degree, you've already done maybe medical lab science, but you are still very much interested in medicine, don't want to commit to that long 5 years, 6 years of medicine, this is an opportunity for you guys. And as I do in my videos, I do recommend some schools. Currently, University of the West of England is the most affordable for this course currently in the UK. I mean, for international students. So it's currently, pardon me guys, because I want to give you the right information, so I just need to look on the screen of my computer. So, and that school, University of West of England, is currently 14,500. 14,500. University of the West of England is in Bristol. Now, I must warn you, the cost of living in Bristol is not very cheap. It's not very cheap. So, but there are other schools you can consider. Like she mentioned Wolverhampton. There was another lady, another physician associate there. She mentioned Sheffield Hallam University. So you can consider that. They have in St. George's, London. Also, the cost of living in London, please bear in mind, it's not cheap. As well, for this course, it's a professional course. So you require English test. You require references. Like the other courses I've talked about, this is basically the same requirements. So the next course we are going to be talking about is MSc Diagnostic Radiography pre-registration. MSc Diagnostic Radiography pre-registration. Now I must tell you that anything that has to do with radiography, in fact there was a time it was on a shortage occupational list in the UK, so you will definitely get a job. For MSc Diagnostic Radiography, our university, I usually talk about Teesside University. They have this course. It's the same thing for all their pre-reg courses. It's £14,500. So don't forget that. And somebody may be wondering, what is diagnostic radiography? So what they do basically is people they use the radiation to take images of if someone has had a fracture, for instance, or trauma to any part of the body. They take, like people who do x-rays, so they take use radiation to produce an image of that particular part of the body where you have a fracture or trauma, and then they send it to the doctor. It will help the doctor to make diagnosis. That's basically what diagnostic radiography is all about, to help the doctor to make diagnosis. But there's another form of radiography. It's called therapeutic radiography. So that's the third course we are going to be talking about. So don't forget to recap. The first one is MSc Physician Associate. The second one is MSc Diagnostic Radiography pre-registration. For the Physician Associate, you don't need to put pre-registration, but for the other ones, pre-registration, don't forget. Then the third course is MSc Therapeutic Radiography pre-registration. You can, some may be wondering that what's the difference between that and the second course I talked about. So there's a difference between them. The first one is MSc Diagnostic Radiography. This one is Therapeutic Radiography. Now, the difference is that the diagnostic radiography one, like I said before, they take x-rays, imaging of any area of the body that you have suffered trauma or injury. That will help the doctor to diagnose. But for the second one, therapeutic radiography, is they now, instead of using that radiation to produce an image, now they use radiations to treat. That's why it's therapeutic. They are using that radiation to provide treatment, and basically most of the time is to treat cancers and other tissue defects. Mainly is cancer. And if you do this course again, you are going to get a job in the UK, and in 5 years time you get your permanent residence. And the last course, the last but not the least, I'm also excited about this course, is MSc Paramedic Science, also pre-registration. Of course, you know who a paramedic is. You know, paramedics are healthcare professionals that provide emergency treatment. You know, they are the first point of contact for patients in the case of an emergency. So they have to be there. They commence treatment on the way while transporting this patient to the hospital. So that's another course you can search for in the UK. But the only thing for this for paramedic science, you will also need a UK driving license. But don't let that put you off as an international student. You can apply. Once you have gained your admission and you are in the UK, they give you a certain period of time when they want you to go and learn driving, because you know sometimes you may be required to drive the ambulance. That is. So guys, make sure you go and look at all of these courses I've talked about if you are interested in relocating to the UK with your family. Okay, that's all the information I have for you today, guys. If you have not watched the first part of this video, go and watch it. It's likely I will do the third part of this video, because the first and the second one now I've talked about healthcare, but there are other courses, engineering, you know, mathematics, other courses. So I'm going to talk about them likely in the part 3 of this video. Please guys, do consider subscribing to this channel. Please share this video with your friends, with your families, and with your enemy as well. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.